Hello and welcome, as it is the 6th of November 2018, and I thought I only made one trade since I went to sleep last night, and that's what happens when you just quickly look at your trades go by your brain history. Because I remembered that the last thing I traded was Komodo. So therefore I woke up, and I would have seen that, well, there was Komodo there, so I bought it, and okay, so the only trade I made was POA at 9:02. But that's 5:40 in the morning, and the last trade again was Komodo at 20 and a half hours, and there hasn't been too many trades recently, which is why I'm showing it in this format. But I also did trade another dose of Komodo, AGI and ARN. So I really want to look at AGI and ARN in the same way that I looked at POA this morning. First, Komodo, I'm just going to move the lines a little bit. And as I'm looking at this, the number I'm looking at is how many I own. Realizing that as markets go up, it's going to reduce, because if I have like 50 sell orders and like 6 buy orders or 8 buy orders, I'm going to have a lot less Komodo. But when the markets go down, I'm going to be buying a lot more. But I have about as many Komodo here as I did back in here, and that's getting pretty impressive, somewhere in here. And that's because for every 10 that I sell, I'm trying to buy as many as I can back, or basically the full amount based on the sale, which can work out to be, if it's over 10%, over 11 for every 10 that I buy. And I'm selling close to 1% of what I own for every like 1.5, 1.6% gain. So let's move on next to Singularity Net, or AGI. And first, as we can see, we got our buy order hit. Price action came down the 18 average of highs from this very extended 14th handle price. Let's move the lines to where the new sell and buy orders happen to appear. And that puts the new sell order decently below previous high, a safe one to the exact one, but if it makes a lower high, maybe you might be able to pick up on it. And then if it breaks that high, I'll be looking to sell from 1300, probably up into this 1500 to 1600 congestion area. I got my new buy order at 935, a key area of resistance from October 13th, and then this little area in at close to Halloween, or the last couple of weeks before then. So as far as the trades are concerned, what I did before with the last code POA/BNB, I put up this quick little text file showing every trade and some statistics. So let's do the same thing again here with AGI. So when did I get into the code? Not that long ago. For I could maybe go 3-hour time frame. This way I can show you shorter term, and it was October 22nd at 8:46 area right here. So I got in as it was breaking out and the play came through. So I start off in a positive expectation and successfully trading the range, which of course I didn't, was 967 down to here. But I think I sold here, bought down here. I'm going to show you all of the trades amongst the cross in here, and there hasn't been too many, a handful of them. And that was to enter in buying at 866. So 866 was the enter buy on October 22nd, selling at 958 the next morning, buying back 4 days later at 861, selling again close to 1,000 the next day. A week later, which brings us to 2 days ago, selling at 1149, then again at 1349, and then the most recent buyback in at that of 1104. So the statistics amongst this, I've had 2,713 buys, which has cost me in Bitcoin 002 or single 02422. For an average buy cost of $8.92. I have sold 1,003 of them. I have received 0.01116 for an average sale of 1,113. My net Bitcoin, well, I've had to pay so far for my remaining 1,710 of them, 0.01306. And I've paid like nothing in Binance coin. That's pretty much nothing for a coin that's almost worth $10. So therefore, my net AGI is 1710 and it's valued at 0.0185 right now, which means I have profited this number here, or that of 29.1% and $35.20. Now that's not that much per se, but when you're playing a lot of different coins and you're playing with an okay size bankroll, I'm definitely going to call it a medium sized bankroll, then that's how it has to be. Hodling, which means simply only buying here, and that's it. Obviously, you're up at 866 with the price at the 1,094 mark. You'd have 2,181. That's what was bought in originally. So I would have had 471 more coins had I done nothing. So I got less coins because the price is higher. And I would have had a value of 0.02357, which would have worked out to a 24.8% gain, or about $30. So I have marginally outperformed that of hodling. And of course, if price action comes back down to 866, I'll still be up, where of course this one will be at break even. Next up is ARN. I got no lines on here. We're going to put them on. I've been in this for quite a while, a decent amount of time. I'm going to show you all the trades in this. I'm not going to go over them too quickly because there is quite a few of them. And right now I would be up, but I didn't start up amongst the situation in here. Now, one of the things I was thinking about, what I want to implement within my strategy, is the following type of scenarios. Okay. And I was thinking this as it was leaving this 18 average like in here. Should I just get out of all of this? Really? Seriously. Just sell everything that I got. Maybe put a buy order to try to buy it all back. Or maybe put it in a totally different other coin and then look to buy it back later on. Those are the things that I'm thinking about. And I can still think about that because that's set up to say, okay, this is a point A low, this is a point B high, and the point C low coming, you might say is going to be at least 8,000. Heck, it could even be down to 55, and it could be a failed breakout, thus making a matching or newer low going further. Who knows? Okay. So that's why it would be a good play based on this point, because it most certainly has that of a bearish setup, even though I just made the purchase of such after selling, of course, on the higher level. So I have put buy and sell orders in. I've decided not to do such. As far as where the buy and sell orders will be placed at, I'm going to go a little above this number 11,930 and a little bit below the 85.37 handle. And then selling in here after if it goes through, I can sell previous high area here at around either the conservative 14 handle or the more aggressive 15 handle, if of course this sell comes in next. If this buys, I'll be looking to sell back in this congestion area in here somewhere. And then if this buys down here, well, we're basically looking probably at, probably a conservative buy here at this low at around 72, and then deeper into this level. Because if you're buying, say, this previous resistance level, the top end is 63, 61. Into it, you're talking about going like 55. So I'd probably go like 57 and change. If I were to say buy here at 72, I go 72 to 6,000. Yeah, maybe 6,011. If this buy order comes in, that would be my next one. Now, I'm going to be stopping doing every single trade from this point on. I'm still going to go over them here and there, and I'm definitely going to be doing more post-synopsis scenarios. So I'll probably do selected trades as I move forward throughout the week. But as far as this, let's talk about when I got into it and how the numbers have played. And it was on August the 2nd at 6,400. So right in here. So I didn't get the bottom. Nope, I didn't get the bottom. I bought an area that became resistance that is broken through, but it's up right now. Buying at 6,400 and having that value at 64 to 100, which is close to a 50% gain. Okay, let's go through the trades now from that point, and I'm gonna just really go through them fast. As we have here all of the trades from August the 2nd, buy. So you come in, you think you got the bottom, you buy at 64, then you buy at 56, 48, 4,000. That was two people to fill that trade. And then it goes up to 47, back down to 4,000, up to 45. I'm going to just scroll through this. You can pause it if you want to, if need be. And again, there's been quite a few different trades along the way. When you get all these sells together, that means it's in a nice up move. All these buys together going from 50.48 to 47.11, 43, 39, 34, and then you get your sells. And I'm hoping to get as many of these buybacks during the up move. So you have 5 sell orders and a buy order, then 2 sell orders and a buy order, then 2 sell orders. And then the reason why it goes from upper and lower cases, this comes from my file that I have that I download from Binance, and this is just what I'm taking from the actual page itself. They only have 3 months. You download your data every 3 months if you want it, because they only store the last 3 months, it seems. So therefore, every 3 months, download your order history, which you can do on the site with the. But anyway, continuing on, so as I was saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 sell orders, 1 buy, 7 to 1, 7 to 2. Like a whole bunch more, like 13 to 2. You're getting all of these sell orders come in, so you want to get some buy orders beforehand just to get a bit more profit along the way. So that is how it has played into effect as far as the statistics are concerned. 1,152 buys, and it's cost me 0.0631 for a net average buy of 5,477 Satoshi. I have had 967 sells at 0.06098, 6,306. So one part of this game is how long does it take before you have your sell return higher than your buy cost? And of course you're still holding. So that means everything you got is pretty much free to a degree at that stage, or all through profit. And I'm getting very close amongst this code to having such. I've only put in 0.00212 of Bitcoin to have the remaining 152 plus 33. That's 185 that I own. So that's what I own, 185 of these. My net Bitcoin total, so I'm going to be selling like 30 at a time kind of deal, 25, 30, buyback, stuff like that. Net BTC, so that's like hardly anything. Now, as far as the Binance, this is what I really want to emphasize on why I love this as far as the trading game. See, I was really not happy about, you learn about stock market trading 2007, 2008. And you look at the cost, and one of the first things was, well, how do I avoid spending $20 a trade? And then you find a way to do it for 10, and you take it. So that was it. I spent about 56 cents, because that's how many Binance coin is worth, to trade every single earned trade that I've had. My overall net gain is close to double, because quite frankly, once this were to go to 0 flat, or this number equals this, then my gain will be 100%. So I've overperformed hodling in a bull market. That's what can happen when you get enough choppy movements. And the overall strategy that I've talked about within this makes it so that it is really easy on the very decent long terms, the decent times, to actually be profiting. Yes, there's going to be situations where hodling is going to have a 9, 10, 12x gain, and you're going to have a 4, 5x gain or a 6x gain. So be it. But a gain is a gain, and to have spots where if it goes sideways and up and down choppy formations, then I'm going to profit. And that's the whole idea amongst why I make the trades in these formats that I do. But of course, talking about creativity. Creativity means if I'm right in a spot, okay, I think this is going to go down, let's sell everything. Let's buy it back at, say, let's buy it back at even 85 or buy it back at 75, 77 maybe. That you're going to do a lot better than, of course, this basic strategy that I'm doing, or the more safer part about it. Because obviously if I sell now and it just starts to go up, well, then that's going to be good. And I'm going to lose out, of course, if I happen to sell. And quite frankly, because this does look like a bearish setup, the one thing that I've learned through trading and looking at so many charts is if a good setup to one side does not occur, don't be surprised to have a fast move in the opposite direction. And quite frankly, this setup looks like a good bearish or sell setup as I'm looking at it, as it's just changing that trend over. As we can see, 18 starting to roll over. On the date of November 2nd, it hit close to the 18 average of highs, or its rally failed, came back to where it came from, but it didn't go up any further. And since the red down day, back to its previous low, and even below such, on the 4th of November, it just had a sideways day and now continuation lower, barely making a new low again. So, because of all of that, it wouldn't surprise me if it's at least going to come down to the 8,500-ish area. And again, I think that's a conservative for this range. I'm thinking 8,000 was the number I could have went, but I thought 8,537 mathematically works out to be a good price, because buying at 100 or having a trade at 100 and then buying back at 85 works out to a 15% decline. And that is why I'm happy with that number. After all, it's a mathematical game. And it's a game, as far as I'm concerned. There's scores. I've already shown you bits and pieces of the individualities within 3 different coins already. And yeah, I'd like to thank everyone for watching, and I'll continue showing, there's a few different topics that I still want to go over. So that's why I'm not done within this, as I did want to lead into it. And a few situations, but I'm going to talk about them mainly when they come up. Stuff like when the entire markets go up and down together, what it means. And generally speaking, it means a lot of sells or a lot of buys at one time. And are you prepared for a lot of buys? That's the big one, because that means you have to have base currency ready to go. And how deep can you go amongst the game on that type of situation? And then on the way up, that's profit-taking spot, building base currency for the price to go lower. And if situations when the markets go way higher, because one of the things that I'm looking for, let's just find, well, Cloak has a lot of history. One of the things that I want to take a look at is these big moves, like ones like this, the ones that just go up to the point where you're getting like, in this case, I talk about, like 12 sell orders, and maybe, or we had like 15 sell orders, 18 sell orders, and like 6 buy orders. Well, how about 75 sell orders and 15 or 16 buy orders? Yeah, I want to talk about those situations, hopefully, in the next little while, when they all do it together. Because when that happens, when everything goes up like it did in 2017, of course, this isn't the best chart to show for such. So let's move it over to Dash. But when you see stuff like this, it all goes up together like it did here. It took part of its 2017 rally. All these moves, like going from 34.6 to 9, when everything goes up big like that, that means you're at the spot where your portfolio goes up massive, and now you have to think of different things: protecting portfolio, getting into precious metals when you got the extra funds. Those are the things I'm going to talk about it, but I think it's best to talk about it when those situations occur. Right now, the volatility moves are low, so I'm getting the moves that I can get. And a lot of stuff like this Dash, I haven't traded it in quite some time, but it's got a decent setup now that I look at it. When you see how it's been this water slide ride down to the 18. It concluded its sense at the end of October, and then you have this update in November. You have the pause day yesterday, and today's session, it's back to the previous high. So it looks like it wouldn't surprise me if even today this moves up to this previous support area of around 274. That's a gain of about 11 basis points on 263. That works out to that of about 4%. So you will see anyway. Thank you for tuning in. Have yourself a great day. Bye-bye.